The dark truth behind Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a time to celebrate romance and love, but the origins of this festival of candy and cupids are actually dark, bloody, and way out there. Though no one has pinpointed the exact origin of the holiday, one place to start is ancient Rome. The Roman celebrations were violent. From February 13th to 15th, the Romans celebrated the feast of Lupercalia. The men sacrificed a goat and a dog, then whipped the women with the hides of the animals they had just killed. The Roman romantics were drunk and naked. Noel Linsky, now a religious studies professor at Yale University, told NPR in 2011 young women would line up for the men to hit them, Linsky said. They believed this would make them fertile. The ancient Romans may also be responsible for the name of our modern day of love. Emperor Claudius II executed two men, both named Valentine, on February 14th of different years in the 3rd century. Their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church with the celebration of St. Valentine's Day. As the holiday spread, it quickly evolved. Later, Pope Gelasius muddled things in the 5th century by combining St. Valentine's Day with Lupercalia to expel the pagan rituals. But the festival was more of a theatrical interpretation of what it had once been. Linsky added it was a little more of a drunken revel, but the Christians put clothes back on. That didn't stop it from being a day of fertility and love. Around the same time, the Normans celebrated Valentine's Day. Gallatin meant lover of women. That was likely confused with St. Valentine's Day at some point, in part because they sound alike. As the years went on, the holiday grew sweeter. Chaucer and Shakespeare romanticized it in their work and gained popularity throughout Britain and the rest of Europe. Handmade paper cards became the token in the Middle Ages. Eventually, the tradition made its way to the New World. The Industrial Revolution ushered in factory-made cards in the 19th century. And in 1913, Hallmark Cards of Kansas, Missouri began mass-producing Valentines, and February has not been the same since. Today, the holiday is big business, but that commercializing has spoiled the day for many. Helen Fisher, a sociologist at Rutgers University, said we have only ourselves to blame. This isn't a command performance, she said. If people didn't want to buy Hallmark cards, they would not be bought and Hallmark would go out of business. And so the celebration of Valentine's Day goes on in varied ways. Many will break the bank buying jewelry and flowers for their beloved ones. Some will celebrate it in a sad way, dining alone and binging on chocolates, while others will find a way to make peace with singlehood in a society that wants everyone to partner up. The history of Valentine's Day wouldn't be complete without Cupid. But what's the tie between Cupid and Valentine's Day? Before Cupid was a chubby little angel who shot love arrows, he was the handsome Greek god of love. His name was Eros. It was the Romans who turned him into what has become modern-day Cupid. Greek mythology is unclear on how Eros was received, but he was known for both his masculinity and his manipulation of both gods and mortals by toying with their emotions for the power of his golden arrows. There is also a myth of Cupid and Sake. According to the legend, Sake was condemned to wander the earth trying to win Cupid back after he abandoned her. So why the romance? Up to this point, the holiday had no official romantic anything, other than the implications that St. Valentine himself was a romantic and that pagans drew lovers during Lupercalia. Over the centuries, the holiday began to pick up romantic trends. Middle-aged England and France, for instance, considered February 14th the first day of birds' mating season, adding to the date's theme of love. Some ask, is Valentine's Day pagan or Christian? Valentine's Day history has somewhat blurred origins. While the date is meant to honor St. Valentine's death and burial, which is supposedly occurred in mid-February around 270 AD. Some historians believe the date could reflect the Catholic Church's attempt to replace the ancient pagan celebration of Lupercalia, which was a fertility festival for the pagan agriculture god Faunus, with a Christian event in memory of the saint. At this pagan event, which traditionally took place on February 15th, Roman men allegedly drew the names of Roman women from a jar to be coupled with during the festival, often leading to true love, or so the story goes. Lupercalia became officially outlawed in the late 400s when Pope Gelasius replaced it by deeming February 14th as St. Valentine's Day. In short, it could be said that the meaning of Valentine's Day commemorates St. Valentine's brutal and bloody three-part execution, beating, stoning, and beheading because of his secret support of Christian marriages. February 14th symbolizes the date that he died, or possibly, because Christians needed to replace the pagan holiday, Lupercalia. Although the stories behind St. Valentine are a bit creepy, some say that he was a Roman priest who defied Emperor Claudius II, who banned marriage so men would be more willing to go to war, by continuing to marry people in secret, which resulted in St. Valentine's brutal execution. Some may even say it puts a whole new meaning on I give you my heart on Valentine's Day. Please like and subscribe for part 2. All of this is research found on the internet.